Morning Woodhounds, Craig here. Welcome back to the channel. It'll be another cutting video today. If you watched the last video, I was working on this poplar or big tooth aspen log that was right on a trail, so easy access. Most of it was suspended, and which makes for easy bucking. In this case, the rest of the log looks pretty dang nice and straight, not a lot of knots, not a lot of limbs. So even though poplar or big tooth aspen isn't a great hardwood, we're gonna harvest some of it and use it for campfire sales. So I started the day out actually looking for trees to fell, and I couldn't really find anything good to fell because one, I was solo, two, it's kind of windy, and three, when it's summer like this, it's hard to see the tops, the canopies, and also the ground is just covered in brush and bush. So that's why we chose to, pick on this guy here, because it's easy access. But when I was out exploring for something to cut, let me show you some clips of this white oak that I found. A huge white oak came down. Have to wait till the fall or this winter to try and come out here and get some of it, because it is thick brush. But a lot of good wood. White oak is awesome. Let me show you this, what was left of the stump. Not a lot of holding wood at all. Look at that. Barely anything was holding it. For a tree that size, no wonder it came down. I'm in an oak tree. This thing was huge, and it's got a lot of good wood in it, a lot of bad wood too, but a lot of good wood. And again, similar problem, because it's middle of summer, there's a lot of brush and it's hard to get to it. So I think we'll wait to tackle that one until the winter this coming year. But I'm gonna get the saw warmed up, throw some chaps on, and we'll get to cutting. Good job, Craig. Good thing I have another saw with me. All right, I think I'm learning my lesson here. Keep getting my bar pinched, so we're gonna take a different approach at this. We're gonna try and get the log on the ground. I've been trying to cut it while it's still kind of suspended, but all that's doing is as I'm cutting it, it's just pinching my bar, of course. So let's see if we can get that side of the log onto the ground. Stay tuned. So I was cutting up there. You see what I mean? It's all suspended. That means all the weight is going right there. So I think we're going to try and get this big section onto the ground. Well, I purposely set those there to so it's not on the ground. But let's see if we can do that. So up there is where I was cutting. I'm standing on this side of the log because, as you can see, once I cut it, this little elm tree is going to hold it up so it won't roll towards me. So I should be able to cut it about right here, and it will slowly fall to the ground. At least that's the plan. Stay tuned.
It was at this moment that he knew. he f***ed up.
All right, guys, not sure how much I'll show you of that because it was a bunch of struggle fest going on here. So I was cutting up there and I kept getting my bar pinched because of the weight. So I thought I'm going to come down to the trunk of the log and make some cuts to get the weight on the ground so it's not always pinching my bar. So came down here, started making some cuts, got my bar pinched and stuck pretty good. It was actually stuck on this log, but I had already made mostly a full cut over here. So what I had to do was use the four-wheeler to yank the log free so I could pull out my bar from here. And I think now we're resting on another log. So I'm gonna clean up and then head back to the wood yard because that took an extra, oh, I don't know, 15 minutes of time that probably didn't have to deal with that, but that's how it goes sometimes out in the woods. All right, another load. This one I had to work a lot harder at, mostly because of my fault. Have to come back and get some more. I threw them like that just so if it's a while before I come back, at least they're not sitting right on the ground. And there's still quite a bit left. So, and it's off the ground, so I'm not too worried about getting it right away, but I'll probably be back to buck that up at some point. Let's head back to the wood yard. All right, made it back to the wood yard with the load. These are some pretty heavy rounds. I know it's not the densest or most dense or hardest wood, but it's pretty heavy right now, probably because it's full of moisture. But the MS261 did okay in the wood with the 25-inch bar. Not the greatest. I would say the biggest struggle there was all my fault. I did not judge the weight of the tree and where it was going to pinch my saw very good. I was struggling at times, and I'm not sure how much you guys will see just because I might have to edit some of that out. But yeah, just believe me when I say things didn't go smooth today, but all in all though, it was still an okay day. Got plenty of wood here in the wood yard, didn't get hurt, didn't break any equipment, so there's that. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this video. I appreciate everybody watching. Have a good one. Bye.